Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years. And now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection. And a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zaxtail sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Joe Dredge.
The show goes on!
Mornings on WROK. Over 95 years in the books and still on top. This is Rockford's News Talk 1440 WROK.
7 minutes after 7, News Talk 1440 WROK. It's Friday morning with Riley and Joe. It's cloudy and it's 30 and it feels like it's 19 now because the wind's coming out of the north at 15 miles an hour. The one thing we have going on for us today is that appears that it's going to be a dry day, and there might be some sun as part of it as well. We're told it's going to be partly sunny. We've already hit our daytime high today of 32. We'll roll back until we hit 20 as our overnight low, but chance of precipitation today is holding at about 15%. Saturday keeps looking better and better. All sun all day and 38 with only a 5% chance of precipitation. Sunday's cloudy and 42. Monday is rainy, up near 50. 48 our expected high for Monday, and then Tuesday's cloudy and 40.
Sounds good.
Can live with it.
Okay.
Can absolutely live with it.
I like that a lot.
So, yeah, we've hit that high, and those winds are attention-getting this morning. But, we've been through many Januaries that were a whole lot worse than this.
So much worse. What are our highs? I'm sorry. What are our highs tomorrow, Sunday again?
38 on Saturday,
Okay, yeah.
42 on Sunday.
They're climbing close to 50.
Kissing up to 50, 48, 49 on Monday, but that will bring rain with it. It says at this point 85% chance.
All right.
So that's what's going on. Mm-hmm. We've talked about this before. This isn't any big skin at your house, and in our house there's a big egg consumer. That would be Amy. Looking at a headline this morning: Illinois consumers scrambled to find eggs amid nationwide shortage.
So many egg puns coming out.
Oh.
So many egg puns.
Everywhere I looked, somebody worked something in.
Crack.
Shell, yolks on you.
This is over easy.
Scramble. Yep, all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep, nationwide egg shortage means, you're looking for that key ingredient in some cases. And it says here, if Illinois shoppers do find eggs, this is from Patch.com, by the way, should be prepped to pay about 11% more than you did 1 year ago. According to a December 2022 inflation report that came out Thursday, released by the government, nationally the cost of eggs about $2.37 a dozen last week. According to the latest data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Midwest egg prices are different, among the highest in the country here in the Midwest.
Well, I was going to say, at $2.37, that's not what I thought it was at all.
That's not at all.
Okay.
Try $5.17.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
okay.
Here in the Midwest. Yeah, I love that. Nationally, $2.37. Midwest, $5.17 per dozen on average.
That's horse crap.
Yep.
Like, why? Don't we have all the chickens?
I was just thinking, I'll our chickens against New York's chickens any day.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people do forget a lot of New York is agrarian.
Is chicken.
But at the same time, yeah, $2.37 nationally. Here in the Midwest, $5.17 per dozen during the week of January the 6th. Price reflected a 2% reduction from the final week of last year, where the average price of eggs here in the Midwest went to $5.30 a dozen on average. You have residents in some states paying 2 and 3 times more for eggs than they were a year ago. California, of course, where everything is going to run you more. The average price for a dozen eggs last week was $7.37, 3 times what it was a year ago.
What state has the most chickens, Rouse? Any guess?
I'm going to say Iowa.
Yeah, by a mile, too.
Yeah?
They have 60 million chickens.
A lot less after the bird flu, of course.
And sorry, this is from 2021, so 2 years old. Ohio is in second. Ohio and Indiana both in second with like 45 million.
Oh, we're not even in the top.
No, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Texas, Arkansas, North Carolina, Michigan, and California round out the top 10.
Come on, Illinois chickens, get with it.
We're too busy with pumpkins.
Yeah, that's true.
Chickens.
We can't supply the world with everything, so pumpkins will do it. Yeah, $7.37 a week ago for a dozen eggs in California, 3 times what it was a year ago. Eggs from, quote, humanely raised chickens will run you even more.
Yeah.
Redlands, California, selling cage-free eggs, $10 a dozen.
Yeah, the cage-free business is about to take a hit, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I take that back. It's $10 for a dozen and a half. Eggs from free-range chickens going for $8 a dozen at the same time. Chicago this week, average price of eggs stood at $4.45 a dozen. Some varieties, including cage-free eggs, went as high as $7 a dozen. So, yeah, the bird flu outbreak required the slaughter of 44 million egg-laying hens, largely behind price spikes, according to some of the industry.
That's okay, so a lot of times when we start talking about numbers like that, what does 44 million chickens mean to me or you? It doesn't really mean it. But we just read this. That's the same as every chicken in Ohio.
Right.
That's killing every single chicken in Ohio.
And you consider, since last year, almost 58 million birds, mostly egg-laying hens and turkeys, have been destroyed because of the outbreak.
Yeah. Okay.
Mauro Ibarra, who is a business analyst at the Egg Industry Center, Iowa State University, quote, the flu is the most important factor affecting egg prices this outbreak. In terms of egg-laying hens, we lost 10 million more leg-laying hens than we did during the last outbreak of 2015.
Okay.
But consider other factors. You're looking at fuel costs that continue to go up.
Oh.
You're looking at feed costs that continue to go up as much as 60%. Labor costs, packaging costs, all of that. Those are bigger factors than the bird flu for sure.
Did he say they killed 10 million more egg-laying hens?
Yeah, we lost 10 million more egg-laying hens than we did during the last outbreak of 2015.
I think is probably even more significant because I don't know this for sure. I'm not a farmer, nor do I make rafts, but I'm assuming this 60 million chickens are in Iowa. Is that like a even 30-30, 50-50 split? We have 30 million hens and 30 million roosters?
I don't know how. I believe there are far more hens than there are roosters because one rooster can handle the job of several hens.
Okay, all right.
From what I understand.
Do we eat? I feel like George's dad right now. Do we
eat roosters?
Yeah. Do we? Who's having?
I think Coca Vin had its origin with roosters, chicken and wine, or the cock. Vin. So I believe when the rooster was no longer doing roosterly things, it made its way into the pot in Coca Vin. They can be consumed. Mm-hmm. You got Kroger, you got Whole Foods, you got Fred Meyer's. Other grocers are limiting egg purchases to 1 or 2 cartons in some areas. Walmart spokesperson told Winsight Grocery Business, a business-to-business industry publication, they have not imposed limits on egg purchases now that demand has returned to normal levels after it surged during the holidays.
Okay.
Local media, Colorado, Arizona, Massachusetts, have all reported empty or nearly empty egg shelves in grocery stores. Winsight said in its report Wednesday of this week that egg shelves were nearly bare at a Target on Chicago's northwest side, and a few cartons of organic eggs still available were over $8 a dozen. Grocery store in Chivalry, Maryland, offered a mea culpa to customers with a sign above cartons of grade A large eggs selling for $5 a dozen. The sign, posted Tuesday, quote, due to recent market increases, our egg retail has increased. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Sorry about this, guys.
Yeah. Sorry about that one at all. So after chicken facilities are sanitized and restocked with healthy hens, it takes about 4 or 5 months for the birds to reach peak productivity of about 24 eggs per month.
So we're gonna keep this through probably June.
Yep. Yeah. It looks that way. Whether egg prices will ever go down to the level of 99 cents a carton remains highly in doubt as bird flocks around the country continue to be infected with this bird flu. At least 47 states have been affected by this bird flu since February of last year. So far this year, bird flu reports have been filed with the USDA from Montana, California, Nebraska, Colorado, Washington, South Dakota, Kansas, Missouri, and Oregon.
Okay.
That's a whole bunch.
That's a lot.
California, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Oregon, South Dakota, and Washington. Iowa, the largest egg producer in the U.S., the hardest, more than 15 million birds destroyed in that state alone last year.
Wow. Okay. And that's, according to the 2021, that's a quarter of its population.
Wow.
Quarter of its chicken population, yeah.
And still, when you look at it, eggs relatively cheap when compared with the price of other proteins like chicken or beef. Pound of chicken breast going for $4.42 on average in November. Pound of ground beef going for $4.85 on average. That's across the country now. If you're like, wait, I paid a hell of a lot more than that. Remember, they're getting us here in the Midwest sometimes more. Mm-hmm. Now you got people thinking about backyard chickens.
Not in Rockford.
Kelly Fisher lives on Chicago's north side, told the AP she and her neighbors are thinking about buying a chicken coop behind their houses, so they eventually hope to have them and not have to buy their own eggs. Some municipalities here in Illinois do allow them, but each city or village has specific guidelines you have to abide by in order to get the chickens. Suburban Lombard, you got to have a permit. There's a limit of 6 hens, with residents being required to have at least 2 chickens to keep them. No roosters are allowed under local ordinances. That would make fertility a difficult situation.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Here in Illinois, keeping chickens is prohibited currently in, well, as you mentioned, right here in Rockford. Athens, Beardstown, Bloomington, Champaign, Elmwood Park, Fox Lake, Lincoln, Monmouth, Mount Prospect, Normal, Peoria, Vandalia, and Wilmette.
Okay.
I don't see Kenilworth on there. Yeah, that'd be a great place to have some backyard chickens, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Well, you got the land.
How was it you were killed by your neighbors? Well, I put a backyard chicken coop up at my home in Kenilworth. The next thing I know, they were over with pitchforks and torches. They killed everyone.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that. We have people for that.
Yes, uh-huh.
So, the idea of the backyard chickens is caught on nationwide.
Oh, that's gonna...
Just Google, how do I get started with backyard chickens, and watch what comes up.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of stuff. There's a couple good outfits. We did a little research on this in a few shows ago.
Yep.
Yeah, you get a nice little hutch, everything going on. I think you can get everything done for about $500.
Yeah, I don't remember the price point. I remember it wasn't one of those, whoa.
No, it was...
it's going to take a while to pay that off.
No,
it didn't seem like it was that long.
Yeah, $500, and I forgot where you're going to go to get chickens. I think you can order them online. Maybe they come in a box. I never really went with the idea more than us just touching on the concept. Way out over my skis and talking about backyard chickens here, but yeah, you're probably going to see people smuggle them in. Somebody's going to get in trouble for backyard chicken here pretty soon.
Oh,
right?
And has anybody gone out to petition the Rockford City Council on changing that ordinance?
Right, yeah.
I'm waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, what if that vote would have happened like 3 weeks later? You think it goes different?
I think if you were listening to the views of the people you represent,
right. Mm-hmm.
I think you've probably older people would be hearing from their constituents. Not all of them, obviously, but
the
I
vocal
think they would
ones
be hearing from some vocal ones saying, I want the opportunity to do this.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, just keep it in your basement.
Look,
is it legal to keep a chicken in your basement then?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know anything about raising them. I know that if it were legal and my neighbors went ahead and did it, I don't think on its face I have any problem with it.
No, I'm not turning people in for chickens in the backyard.
No, they're not opening up a full-blown Tyson operation next door.
Right.
It's just a few chickens.
With a processing shed.
Right, yeah. I don't believe I'm going to be kept awake by clucking all night long and things like that. But at the same time, I don't know if I'd have a problem with it.
I'll kick you a couple eggs.
Well,
yeah, sure.
If they don't want the cops called, yeah. I mean... Business is business, isn't it?
It'd be a shame if the police came over and found these chickens.
That's a nice backyard chicken coop you got there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Shame if my dog hopped the fence and talked to your chickens over there.
Yeah, people walking around the neighborhood selling protection to the chicken coops.
Yeah, I'm going to need my half a dozen, please.
All right, at least we have a working business model now. I like the idea. 7:19. Clay and Buck are here. Whether they have chickens or not, they won't say. But they will talk about some other things.
Friday edition, Clay.
Over 95 years in the books and still on top. This is Rockford's News Talk 1440 WROK.
7:35 News Talk 1440 WROK. Riley and Joe, Friday morning. It's an overcast morning, but all things considered, could be worse.
Oh, yeah.
It's January 13th. It could be worse. Oh, yeah, it just dawned on me. It's Friday the 13th.
Happy Friday the 13th, Rouse. Is that the right greetings for that?
I suppose so.
Yeah, happy Friday the 13th.
Yeah, try to make it through.
Yeah,
if you're superstitious and all that.
Right. You don't watch which one's the Friday the 13th movie? Is that Freddy or is that Jason? That's Jason.
I think so.
Freddy's Nightmare on Elm Street, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
That's it. Yep. A good way to just spit right in the face of that whole thing that Friday the 13th is a bad luck day and all that would be win the Mega Millions tonight.
Oh yeah, just do that. Yep.
Nothing like $1.35 billion to say, maybe Friday the 13th isn't such a bad day.
No, we can celebrate that day.
Okay, I'm just trying to help you out one way or another. If you win, you'll feel better.
That is tonight.
That is tonight.
I feel like I'm going to buy a ticket today.
Yep. Why not? Can't win if you don't play.
Yeah,
and there's been so many times that we've gone, man, wouldn't it be great? And then never bought a ticket.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You still get the fantasy a little bit.
Would it be great to go to Europe? Yeah. Oh, I'm afraid of airports. Okay. Yeah, all right, fine. Okay. Let's get into something here that I know is near and dear to your heart and to many others. Not mine per se, but it's a problem, I guess you could call it. You know what I'm leaning toward?
No.
TikTok.
Oh, it's a huge problem.
Huge problem. You now have Wisconsin and North Carolina have joined at least 22 other states in the union in banning the popular social media app TikTok on state-owned devices.
Oh, I agree with that.
That includes Mississippi, Indiana, Louisiana, and South Dakota. Look, you got a state-issued device because that's your job and all that. What are you doing on TikTok?
Yeah, no, it's... Yeah,
use your phone for
I
that.
also don't think Twitter and Facebook should be on government-issued
I agree.
devices.
Absolutely.
Right.
It should be for your job.
Yes.
Congress also recently banned TikTok from most U.S. government-issued devices over bipartisan concerns about security. TikTok is owned by ByteDance.
Yeah, this is more about China than wasting time, right?
Oh, it's all about China. Yeah, they're a Chinese company that has moved its headquarters to Singapore, did in 2020. It's been targeted by critics who say the Chinese government could access user data such as browsing history and location. U.S. armed forces have also prohibited the app on any military device.
Good.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. TikTok, by the way, is consumed by 2/3 of American teens and has become the second most popular domain on Earth.
Wow.
Been long bipartisan concern in Washington that Beijing would try to use legal and regulatory power to seize American user data or try to push pro-China narratives or misinformation. There's already been documented cases of it happening.
Yes.
Why did Wisconsin and North Carolina ban it? Democrat Governor Tony Evers up in Wisconsin cited concerns about privacy, safety, and security. After consulting with the FBI and emergency management officials about it, his order applies to most state agencies, some exceptions like criminal investigators who may use that app to track certain people.
Get it? Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got criminals on TikTok, and they're going to use it for that.
Somebody just caught some motorcyclists got away from the cops and did an escape thing. Filmed it all. Put it on TikTok. Got caught.
Idiot.
Like,
what are you doing?
Like, what are you doing?
Some things are meant to be enjoyed privately.
Yeah.
That would be one of them.
You're flee from the cops. That's for you.
Keep that to yourself.
That's for you.
Just keep that to yourself. University of Wisconsin system, which employs 40,000 faculty and staff, also exempt from the TikTok ban. But a UW system spokesperson said despite the exemption, the university is conducting a review and moving toward placing restrictions on the app being used on devices in order to protect everyone against serious cyber security risks. You got Roy Cooper, who's the governor of North Carolina, also prohibited the use of WeChat, which is a Chinese instant messaging app on state devices.
Tons of people on WeChat.
I have not heard of WeChat. You just replace your normal SMS with that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like big WhatsApp?
Yeah, it's like WhatsApp. It's big. I mean, the only real reason you would use it here in the States is if you're doing something illegal or overseas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that WhatsApp is very popular with end-to-end encryption. That's another reason that people sometimes use that for nefarious purposes.
Correct.
Both the FBI and the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, have warned that TikTok user data could be shared by the owner ByteDance Limited with China's authoritarian government. U.S. officials also worry the Chinese government might use it to push pro-China narratives. You had fear stoked last year by news reports. The Chinese-based team improperly accessed data of U.S. TikTok users, including 2 journalists, as part of a covert surveillance program to ferret out sources of leaks to the press.
Oh.
Also concerns the company is sending masses of user data to China, which is a complete breach of European privacy rules. And, of course, then there's the concern that TikTok's content is harming mental health.
That's the key for me. That's China, whatever. I mean, they're already looking at us through other means, I'm pretty sure. So, but the mental health of it all is it's wildly addictive. It's bad.
Oh,
no.
Like I said, my daughter Molly has it. From my observation, uses it within reason. I haven't found any of those where she's been staring at that for 3 hours and we can't talk to her.
Right.
No. And a lot of times we'll sit down and, she knows the things that I will be amused by or like. Yeah. And so she and I, hey, Dad, look, I curated a few of these for you to look at. Yeah. Other than that, I haven't noticed it being a problem.
Okay.
But.
Yeah.
Here's what TikTok says.
It does. It is a time eraser. It is. You get into it and it is amazing how fast a half hour can pass on TikTok.
Which, I've always found things like that wonderful if you're sitting there waiting for your doctor appointment, your dental appointment, your car's getting an oil change, so you're going to hang out. You're in an airport waiting to pick up whatever you've got time to kill. Your kid's in practice. You're there early waiting for them. You scroll through anything that's a time killer that, oh man, 45 minutes before basketball practice is done. Let me get it. Oh, they're done?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, those are the ones I like.
Time warps, yeah.
Yep, we're disappointed that so many states are jumping on the political bandwagon to enact policies that will do nothing to advance cybersecurity in their states and are based on unfounded falsehoods about TikTok, according to a spokesperson for TikTok in an emailed statement. Okay. Well, what are you going to say?
Right.
Yeah, you guys are right to ban us. Right. We're really doing some stuff that probably would really upset you.
I mean, you're just banning them off of government devices, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not telling anybody you can't have TikTok on your phone.
No, although a move, there are certain people who would like to see that move go all the way through to actually just pull it, get it yanked and get it removed out of app stores. I guess when they initially had talked about this during the previous administration as well, it would have been more of an establishing an American-based TikTok, where you would have to follow all along with our rules, not necessarily the rules that govern the country that you're from.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't know.
I don't either, but yeah, maybe an American TikTok. You can't take this. Well, I mean, I guess you can do whatever you want, but taking this out right now would be, I don't think have the intended consequence they want.
I don't know.
No.
You have Democratic U.S. Rep. Raja Krishnamurthy of Illinois has co-sponsored legislation to prohibit TikTok from operating in America altogether. That measure, approved by Congress in December, had the support of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi at the time. I don't know where that one sits, but I don't believe we're done, because we're seeing more and more people jump on it. And now you got North Carolina and Wisconsin over the last day saying, we're done here. State-issued stuff will not have it on there.
It's,
I don't know how necessarily this has become a political thing. There is quite a bit of bipartisanship that's going on in all of this.
Yeah, I think that's TikTok's just throwing it out there, just figuring out. If you just say it's political, then at least both sides of the stupid parties will say, well, it must be those.
It's those guys, not us.
Those guys, not us.
Sure, but it's everybody.
It's pretty much everybody. It's wild. If you haven't done TikTok yet, don't. like I would say, don't maybe.
It depends on what sort of personality you have. If you have a personality that could find yourself quickly addicted to this and killing all sorts of time that you don't need to be killing, then stay away from it.
I've always been just so stunned at how well it knows me. Like, it's so much more than just it knows what you're looking at on Google, and it does know what you looked at Google. It knows that you looked at this for this long, and it does a lot of the. I think we got to the point where it's where we don't know what it's doing. It's the AI has kind of taught itself how to do this, and we're not sure what goes on in the little black box anymore. But yeah, it uses what you've looked at, and then if Steve looked at that, but Steve also likes this, maybe you'll like that. And then you looked at it, but you looked at it only like 2 seconds. Maybe we're not going to do that so much. We'll give it. And they know exactly like how. I'm never flooded with one type of thing. Like it's really good at giving you a variety of things. It bounces around to keep it fresh in your mind. It's interesting.
It's like a memory foam mattress. It contours to you.
Oh.
It just contours to what your desires and your preferences are. It figures what those are real quickly and then just contours to your body.
I like that analogy. I mean, obviously the goal of the app, one of my favorite lines, I don't know whose it is, but if something's free to use, you are the product.
Yeah.
You're not the consumer. You're the product if something is free to use. And that's what TikTok is. It's free to use. You're the product. You're the one. And obviously the goal is keep your head down, keep your finger on the screen, keep your attention there, and just keep you on it.
Is it full of ads? Is that how they're making their money?
Yeah, like I'd say every fifth talk is a sponsored ad. You don't have to watch it. You click right through it.
You can blow through it if you want to.
You blow right through it.
How long if you were are they the 15s and the 30s? They'll make you watch a minute? What do they do?
I don't know.
Because I know with YouTube, if you don't hit skip ads, you can sit there and there can be 20 minutes worth of commercials.
You can't. No, it will. If you don't swipe a TikTok, I don't know what you call a single thing. Whatever. If you don't swipe it, it just repeats. It just repeats. So if you left that ad on, it would just repeat it over and over again. But yeah, you just bounce out of it. But it's Yeah, it's I've learned a lot. Listen, we had we did like 3 segments on hiccups yesterday from a TikTok that I watched. I mean, it's you learn. I've learned.
I'm not for 1 second suggesting that everything on it is crap, because it's not. There are some wildly interesting things.
No, some very, very interesting, very helpful things, some very smart things on there,
and then wildly stupid things that get people hurt and or killed.
Yeah.
It's navigating your way through those things.
Yeah, it's gotten so big that you obviously can't say one thing or the other, and everybody's TikTok experience is just unique to them, and I do kind of want you to download it. I want you to download because I want to know what it wants you to, what it thinks you're going to want to like right away. I'm sure it's going to have vacuum reviews right away for you.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'll grab myself a burner phone. That way, I don't have to tap it into my main phone.
I like that.
And,
well, no. I need it tapped in your main phone. I need it to read all your stuff.
Yeah, no. I'm just gonna start making copies of my check stubs and send them to Beijing. I figure I'll eliminate the middleman.
Yeah, it's quicker that way.
748 News Talk 1440 WROK.
It's just
Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years, and now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection, and a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.